Dude, thanks for coming.
Of course, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for doing this, man. Really excited to have you. I think a lot of our customers love Carmel, so I think it'll be nice for them to just see the people behind the brand. What's your background and what was your first career coming out of school?
Yeah, so I've been in sales for probably the last 10 years. Once I graduated university, I just went straight into like an inside sales job selling, shitty pool toys and anything you can think of to like Canadian Tires, Walmarts, that sort of thing. So I cut my teeth doing that for a year, and then soon after moved into beer, and I was selling craft beer for about 5 years. And then once cannabis was legalized, I waited about a year to let it kind of solidify and make sure things were going to stick around, and then kind of joined on board on the rec cannabis market.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned it, but yeah, John, he's the director of sales for Carmel, one of the like premier craft brands in the industry. We connected a few years ago, and I think you were in the various roles. You moved a couple of places before you got to Carmel, and now you're the director of sales. So what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who's looking to build a long and successful career in this industry?
I'd say there's a couple of things. Like, it's a very small industry, so like your reputation means a lot. So like always, stay true to your word and like make sure you treat people a certain way, because if you act a certain way, it will come back to you. So I think it's, for me personally, like I try to keep my network as big as possible, and have as many friends and allies in this industry as you can. And at the end of the day, it's a very small industry, so everyone, if everyone knows you, that you're in a better spot. So I think that's a really important thing, and it's not an easy industry. It requires, as you know, a lot of hard work. So it's like constantly grinding, and you will get somewhere eventually. You just got to keep your head down, and that's been a big thing for me the past 4 years, to just keep my head down and keep it on going.
I mean, there's just so many brands right now in the market. What makes you guys unique, and what's made you guys so successful competing with so many other competitors?
I think like we're a small team. We're really agile, which is really important. Like, the innovation in this market is such a big factor, and we've been really able to keep up with innovation and product differentiation just because of how small of a team and how quickly we can move. Consistency has been one of our biggest things of why we're still around and still so popular. Like, we never put out a bad lot. That's a really important thing for us. And because we're a smaller producer, we're really able to have hands and eyes on each lot that goes out. So quality control for us is one of our biggest things. So I say like innovation and consistency have been two of our biggest factors of success. And just being transparent is a huge thing. Like, from the get-go, we wanted to let people know what we're about, what we're doing, and even on our bags to this day, we put in as much information there as possible.
What's been your greatest accomplishment throughout your career?
I think one of my greatest accomplishments has been where we've taken Carmel in the past 3 years. Like, I think when I started at Carmel, we had 3 flower SKUs in market, and that was it. And to this day right now, we've got around 25 SKUs under Carmel, and then we have a new brand, TokTalk, with around 8 SKUs. So I think just the success of building this brand for my career has been probably like one of the most rewarding and fruitful things so far.
I know you mentioned, how important it is to not burn bridges and build strong relationships in this industry, whether it's through retailers or through customers or, government parties. What's one key thing or a few things that you think is super important in terms of maintaining and building strong relationships?
I think using social media, using LinkedIn, using Instagram, Reddit, like all these resources that you have available has been a huge thing for us. So it's just like, anyone who reaches out to us, they don't even have to work in the industry, they can just be a consumer, but we try to treat everyone with the same respect and build these organic relationships with customers and with retailers. So I think that's been a huge thing for us, is just, I'm constantly getting messages on Instagram or on LinkedIn, and answering everyone and treating everyone with the same amount of respect, versus if they're a big buyer versus just a consumer who picked up a pack of your pre-rolls. So I think just building those organic relationships with a huge array of people, I think is really important. And even if someone ever has a problem with one of our products, we make sure we hook them up. We make sure they have a good experience. We just want everyone having a really fond memory of Carmel, and we're a premium product, so we want them to always have a premium experience.
When I hear with my customers is Animal Face is one of the most loved and sought after products. So I want you to tell our customers, tell the audience, what is one product that you think is super slept on, whether it's under Carmel or TokTalk, that people need to know about?
Our biggest slept on product is probably our hash infused pre-rolls. I think like we've got a father and son team. Bam and his son, Jacob, have been making hash at our hash lab for about 1.5 years now, but Bam's been making hash for well over 15 years. Like, he's a pro, one of the better kind of black legacy hash makers, and we're really happy to have him on his team. So we're doing pure ice water bubble hash. The quality of this hash is the same quality that's going to our temple balls, like really high quality hash, and we're putting into our pre-rolls with really high quality flour and a really nice roll. And I think they're just like one of the best smoking experiences you can find. And I think, you know, a lot of people, when they think of infused, they look at distillate right now, which is like a totally different ball game. So like, I think it's really worth trying the hash infused because it's a whole different experience than the distillate. So that's one thing I'd recommend.
This is kind of a controversial question here, but you know, it's something that I hear often. In your opinion, do you think that it's important to be a consumer in order to work in this industry?
There's certain roles where it's easier if you consume. Like I think from a sales, a territory rep perspective, it's a little more challenging if you don't consume the product and you have no familiarity with it, but I don't think you have to consume to work in this industry. Like I know a bunch of people who work in different roles that don't consume, and they're passionate about the industry, and you can still be passionate about the plant without having to smoke it. So I don't think you need to. Obviously it helps. Like I've been a consumer since I was 12 years old, and I really identify with the plant, and I think that helps with, you know, communicating with people and at events and everything, but you don't have to. Like I think I kind of hate that when people like shit on people for not actually being a consumer and working in the industry. It's like, you know, as long as you're respectful of the legacy of cannabis and you're respectful of the plant, you have passion for it, like you should be able to enjoy.
Totally agree. I'm on the same page. Looking ahead, where do you see Carmel headed in 5 years? What are some things that you're super excited about?
Really excited at what we're doing in the vape category. We just launched our new live resin flamingo vape, and then we've got our animal face that we're relaunching. So we'll have two different 510 carts. So I really see the vape market as somewhere. We're one of the few brands that's using really high quality indoor flower to make our live resins. So I think our vapes really stand out because of that. And now with our new carts, like it's a killer product. So I think from a Carmel perspective, like the concentrates and the vape side is really exciting growth for us. And then we have our new brand Tuck Shop that's just like taken off right now. So I'm really excited for that. It's more like larger formats, like ounces, 7 packs of pre-rolls. We're gonna do a couple of other strains in ounces, and we just launched a disposable that's absolutely killing it. So I think between those two brands, we've got a lot of momentum for growth for next year.
If you could change one thing about the industry or the legal space, what would it be?
One thing would be the taxing. Like I would lower excise tax, and then the the regulations too much. And then the other thing I'm having a lot of issues with right now is kind of the way, especially in the Toronto area, like how our recreational stores are competing against the black market illicit stores, and how it's not a fair playing ground right now. So I think there's a couple of things there that need to be changed up.
Okay, and we'll end it with a fun question. If you could name one cannabis strain after yourself, what would it be, and what kind of characteristics would you assign to it?
I've been in sales for a while, and I was repping east side of Toronto for a long time, and I got the nickname Eastside Johnny. And I think I would do, I really like a sweet gassy kush is what we grow a lot of at Carmel. So maybe like an East Coast, like an Eastside Johnny Kush or something. I don't know, something with the East Coast kind of flair to it. Something that's a little, like I like a strain also that's a bit got that like fruity gas to it. So something that's kind of got that profile is something I'd go for. But naming strains is no easy task. I was telling you earlier, like we've had to name some strains recently, and it's tough to come up with like a clever name that works for the market. So
well, I like East Side, you know, Scarborough's on the East Side, so you know we're on the same page with that. So
for sure.
All right, man. Well, yo, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Carmel, you guys heard from John, the director of sales. So if you guys want some more Carmel, check them out. All right.